Hey everyone, how are you this Monday afternoon? The topic today is do this before you give up. I am Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers and also called the Shrink of MLM. And today I'm speaking to you from both of these caps. Hello Lynn, welcome. How are you? And if you're watching the replay, I'd love if you type in replay, and I'd love to also hear where you're from. Love to hear that. And if you know someone who could use this information about giving up, I'd love if you share this with them. So, you know how, hello Eric and Alicia, hey everybody, haha, good to see you. A lot of times we get sort of overwhelmed by the negativity of a situation, by the fear, looking at all the can'ts and the blocks, and we might focus on that even more than the positives and the being able to get through it. And so focusing on the negatives actually keeps us there and keeps us from letting a solution come into us. So glad to see everybody, Zareen and Sherry and Dave Doyle. Oh, great. So glad to see you. Thank you. So we might focus on the negativity and with the fear, and like it looks like everything's stacked against me. All right. Oh yes, of course this is happening again. Of course, it's just my luck. This is what always happens. I should have expected this. And we can get down, including me, and we can get kind of down on the situation. Well, what that does is it closes down the energy. It closes down our minds and our hearts and actually even our breathing and our blood vessels and everything physiologically too. I know as a body-mind therapist, they go hand in hand. So it closes us down to what solution or help might be just waiting right there if we would have been open to it or had an open mind to it, that we could have turned and looked and a thought might have come in. Oh, I can do this. I didn't think of that. You know, there might be a solution right around the corner. So before you give up on something and say, I can't do this, you know, woe is me, this is happening again, I might as well give up. Before you say that, take a breath and ask life, what do you want to happen now? I used to say, how can I make this happen? How can I accomplish this? How can I get this to happen? And then I realized that sometimes life might not want me to do that thing or have that relationship work. This is a relationship I was in a little while back, and I said to life, to God, I said, you know, it wasn't working, and I said, how can I make this relationship work? And it was only a couple years later that I had a big joke on myself. And I realized that I should have asked, do you want this relationship to work? Does life want it? Does God or higher power, whoever you look to, should it work? And there was things to learn there, and then it was time to leave. So I asked the wrong question, being, you know, that was my controlling part of myself, wanting to say, how can I make this work? But if it is a goal that life wants us to have, we could say, if you want this to work, show me how, and be open to any possibility, right? To become that loose and that flexible and that open. So, hello, welcome, Sherry. So my tip today is before you give up, ask, how can I, if it is your will, how can I facilitate this to happen? Because sometimes an answer might just be waiting for us. And excuse me. Oopsie. Okay, so, and I actually dropped my notes here, but so sometimes an answer might be waiting for us, but to be able to receive it, we need to trust that there is something good for us in the situation, whether it's just to learn from it or to succeed and break through the blocks or whatever there, to learn from it, and then we need to be open, you know, to some solution or guidance, and then we need to listen. So that is the challenging part for many of us, is trusting that there is a solution. Hello, Shannon, welcome. And Jennifer, good to see you. Trusting that there is a solution, and then being open-minded, and then listening for that to come through. So I wanted to tell you that little story and tips in case that it might help you. And I also have a favor. I would like to share what I do in case that you run across the right person. You can refer them to me. And this is exactly what I do: help people to break through those stuck places that perhaps they can't see, but another person outside of them could see. And to know that we are not always meant to do things alone. It's okay to have help, and it's okay to look to each other, someone that you trust, when actually we're really trusting life and all the helpers that life brings along. I am a body-mind therapist and a coach for 30 years for business and life, and I help people to embrace the lessons and get through them easier, faster, better, and farther. So it's easier on us to reach success in health, relationships, and business, all three of those. Hello, Lisa, welcome. Thank you all for the likes and loves. I appreciate that. And if you know somebody who could benefit, I'd love if you shared. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you twice today. So I have been, a body-mind therapist for 30 years, helping people as a coach and counselor. And it was 10 years ago that my network, or my business coach, says, well, Bess, you can't coach everybody. You've got to niche down in your marketing efforts. You've got to niche down. So I said, okay, I'll coach business people to success. And he said, niche down further. I said, okay, network marketers, because I used to be a full-time network marketer for years and helped me raise my son as a single mom. And because you guys are my heroes, you face yourselves every day. You do intense personal growth work. And that's what I love to help network marketers through. So I've been dubbed the shrink of MLM, because I help people where they're stuck get past that fast, to turn fear and negative beliefs into results. My story is that I had to overcome a lot of shyness and attention on myself. I was so shy as a kid that I would hide in my room when company would come over, because I didn't think I was good enough, or worried about being liked, about being okay, about being criticized. Hello, Adrian, welcome. So I hid out, and that was safe, but it was lonely. And I'm still overcoming that original shyness. But at that time, with network marketing, I joined a network marketing company. It was a nutritional one. And I loved how I felt with the products. And I thought, oh, I love health, and I want to help other people to be healthy too. So, but the problem, my shyness. So what do? Well, I learned to overcome that by focusing on the people instead of me. And I learned I read in 17 magazine as a teenager. This was in my early 20s when I joined my network marketing company. But I remember reading in a 17 magazine as a teenager that if you are shy around a boy, that it's you shift the focus to him, because being shy is focusing on ourselves, isn't it? In fact, fear is a selfish thing. It's all about us. It's not about the other person at all. So hello, Mary, too. Glad to see you guys. So when we put our attention on the other person, the fear and the shyness for me went away. That was the only safe place I could be, the only comfortable place I could be. But that allowed me to become an award-winning network marketer. Went a trip to the Bahamas. I helped a lot of people with their health and to make livings with network marketing. So that also helped me raise my son as a single mom. Then my company went out of business, and I became a body-mind therapist, because going to this school for 2 years to learn to become a holistic health practitioner, body-mind therapist, I got to work on my own issues, and I knew there were still more issues in there, and there still is, but that helped me move forward. I knew that was my calling, even though it seemed big. And by working with my clients and students and myself, I noticed, hello, Kareem, good to see you. Fear is a selfish thing. Yep, that's right. That's right, Lisa. So when we focus on other people, the fear goes away. You can't have both. You can't have both love and fear, right? And love is service. So it's always a choice between power or love and fear. And I have to stay on the service side to stay out of the fear side. So that's the only place I really feel good. I try to practice that all the time. Yeah, it's a big one. And it can help network marketers. So when I worked with my clients and students and myself, I noticed that I found a way to work from problem to solution in minutes. I call it real conversations process with ourselves. It's you focus, you identify the problem, like if you're not making your calls, and then the emotion behind that might be fear, anxiety, embarrassment, frustration, and then the need under that. For me, it was self-esteem, so I had to learn to value myself, whether they said yes or no. And the need was also to shift into service. So when I did that, then the fear went away and I was able to talk to people. And I call that process real conversations. And I taught that to people. It's a very simple self-coach process. I'll put a link to that when this live is done, and you can have access to these lessons for free. It's a radio interview, an audio, and a chart, and some journaling exercises. So you can lead yourself from problem to solution in minutes through 4 simple steps. You can journal yourself through it. I think that's what I'm here to teach people. That's what I'm here in this live to teach people, is this process. And so I'm very glad to share it with you all. I'll put the link for you. So as a result, I became a teacher, a coach, a minister, and a therapist. And my niche became network marketers, like my business coach told me. But at that time, I was living in Austin with my fiance at that time. And I found out that he was ashamed of what I did, of coaching network marketers. And that didn't feel good. So I had to do a bunch of soul searching and say, well, do I want to keep going with this career, or, do I try to keep peace in the home and try to, not have him be ashamed of me? Well, after 2 weeks of deep soul searching, I knew that I had to go forward with the network marketing. And so I had to overcome that MLM stigma that was strong right there in my own home. So I know what that's like. The breakthroughs that I help people to do, and again, I'm sharing this with you in case, as a favor thank you for listening to my story. So as a favor to me, so that if you run across the right person that might be able to get help from this, I'd love if you could refer them to me. So my breakthroughs are very much like Tony Robbins, if you've ever seen him work. That's what my breakthroughs are like. Some of them are fast like that, and some of them take a little longer. Depends on the person. I've developed a system called the Mindset Clearing that goes deep into childhood and uncovers where the negative programming came from. A lot of times we heard as a child, you can't do this, you don't deserve this, you don't feel that. And I've helped people to overcome big things. Like one man had a big fear of heights that he hampered his professional life. He could not go downtown for his whole adult life. He could not go among high-rise buildings or ride up in an elevator because his father held him out over a high-rise, held him out of a window of a high-rise building while his mother screamed. So it imprinted in him. It didn't show up till his adult life, though, that he was afraid of tall buildings and elevators. He went to the top psychologists in La Jolla at UCSD. They could not help him. A few sessions with me, and he wrote, I'm free of the fear of heights for the first time in my life. I'm free. I can go downtown. I can work unhampered in my professional life and even drive between mountains. Another man had accidents every year, and his chiropractor knew of my work, and he said, I think there's a pattern here. I'm going to send this man to you. And sure enough, we found out where that pattern came from in childhood. And after 3 years of psychotherapy that didn't help him, 3 sessions with me, and he has not had an accident since. That was many years ago. So this is an example of the intense or strong stories. One in network marketing was a young man who came he was reaching for six figures, couldn't break through to it. We did a lot of personal growth work, and we polished up his 7 skills in network marketing. Before, we set him loose to do a 60-day challenge. His goal was to break through a rank. He broke through 2, and he broke into 6 figures, and now he's traveling the world and having a ball, having the time of his life, living his dream. And this has happened with other people too that I've worked with, although it's not typical. Most people take longer than that. So just wanted to let you know that it's all possible. And Lisa said, this is awful self-cruelty for me. And nonviolent communication, it's like Dr. Rosenberg. Yes, the 4 steps are very similar to Marshall Rosenberg's steps, where you identify what's going on, what you feel, what you need, and what you request. They're those are parallel. So I know that is a true and good model, because our models are very parallel to each other, and I didn't get it from him. It showed itself to me and probably showed itself to him. So nonviolent communication, or NVC, or compassionate communication, thank you, Lisa, by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, is an excellent way to communicate with another person, or to know ourselves and meet our needs. The real conversations is really with ourselves. It's an honest look at ourselves. Welcome, Sharon. Glad to see you. So very similar process, the 4 steps. And we both know that, Dr. Rosenberg actually learned from him that every problem is a sign of an unmet need, and that we can uncover what that is. So thank you for bringing that up here. That's a great tip for everybody. Just finish up my story here and I'll go. But if anyone has a question or comment, I'd love to hear that. I would love to hear any insights that you have, any takeaways that you got, or questions that you have. So what has happened for me is that several top earners network marketers now refer people to me who are stuck and they don't know how to get out. Maybe they have a fear of making their calls, and even some top earners have this, by the way. Or anybody struggling with anything at any level, because every level has its own challenges, don't they? So I help to clear the mindset. I also help to polish up the 7 skills that Eric Orr teaches, which is finding people to talk to, inviting them to look at your business, presenting, following up, including handling objections, and signing them up, getting them started fast so that they stay and are encouraged, and helping them to get to events, promoting events. So these are the things that I teach. Now, coaching business often blends over into life. So I also help with coaching health and relationships, people to have better relationships, communication of any types of relationship, especially using that compassionate communication model, which really works to open the hearts and remove defensiveness. It really works. And also health, people that want to lose weight or get fit or have more energy. So health, wealth, and love, right? Those are the 3, summary quick of the 3 areas. The ways I do that is with private coaching, including helping people through challenges, and the best system that I've ever seen to do that. And also, I run a school for network marketers for 10 years now called the MLM Millionaire School, for network marketers that makes network marketing simple. And at this time, I teach that with my partner, Jeff Gamble. And we've also put together a book called Always Get a Yes, an inexpensive book full of incredible scripts. And I have a lot of free stuff on my site for network marketers. So I really have something for everyone, so that network marketers can control, be in charge of their dreams and their life, and influence an amazing team, and make a residual income and friends for years to come. If you know someone who can benefit from this, I have a complimentary coaching session for them. Anyone serious about coaching but would like to check it out with me, you can just introduce us on Facebook Messenger or share this post with them. So that's what I'm doing. I'm here to help. Any questions before we go? Lisa, what happens when I feel Y? Because what happens when I feel Y, I need X, and I might make a request? When I feel because I need and I might make a request, what happens? What happens when you something happens. Well, the 4 steps of real conversation or even compassionate communication, I'll stick with real conversations. You identify something happens to you, like an upline contacts your group without going through you, and you might feel frustrated about that because you didn't even know about it, and this is your people and your team, because you need the respect and the protocol of going through you, and the request might be, gee, Mary, I appreciate your wanting to help my team. However, I would like to be in that loop too. Next time you want to contact them or instruct them, would you go through me and run it by me first, please? So that would be an example of the situation, the feeling, the need, and the request. And that keeps everything diplomatic and helps to make things work rather than judging, blaming, demanding. So that's how you can make relationships work at network marketing, whether it's with your company, your upline, downline, crossline. And it also, of course, works in families and friends. So I hope that helps. Welcome, Michael. Glad to see you. I have to run to an appointment now. And if anyone has any more questions, please leave them and I will check back later. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for doing your personal growth work and working on yourselves and sharing network marketing with people, because there's people who need you. There's moms who want to be home with their kids. There's students with loans to pay off, seniors who want a better retirement, people who want to escape corporate. If you look around, that's probably most of the people around you. People who want to be home with their kids or retire their husband or wife. So thank you for helping people to a better life, because I don't know a better way. I've not seen one yet. I've challenged people. They haven't been able to show me yet. So Janelle Burgess, she's a dear friend, and we have worked together in the past, and love you. You're the best. Thank you, Janelle. I'm glad to see you. How are you? I'd love to hear how you are lately. And thank you, Lisa and Michael, and everybody who is on here. Thank you for the likes and loves. If you got comment, I'd really appreciate if you like, comment, and share, because then we can get this out to more people. I'll put that link for you so you can get that Real Conversations link and learn to coach yourself. Okay, and if you are stuck beyond that, that's what I'm here for. Just private message me. Okay, and hello, Eugene. Welcome. We're closing off now, but I will put on the replay. Thank you, everybody. Love to you. Bye-bye.